Get the recording. I'm going to share my screen. Get this PowerPoint going. Slideshow. Let me let some more people in real quick. Man, I've got a lot of people showing up. This is awesome. Okay.
Sorry, I can't help with that, Eric. I don't know what
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's
the deal is.
Ganya's in the house. Just let her in. I didn't realize that it was just Stephen Walls is coming in too. Man, we got a lot of people.
Look at that Tennessee orange.
Wait, isn't she retired? Shouldn't we kick her out?
Yeah. And everybody can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a couple more people in here? Jeez. And there's already a chat. What's the chat about? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna really. I apologize, everyone. I had assistance in this, and I'm trying to get everybody in. So thank you for your patience. If you're watching, please turn your cameras on, unless you're having bandwidth issues. That way we can see you guys. And here comes Kimberly Furman. Please have your cameras on if you don't mind. Just be muted and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this started. And man, it's wild. The waiting room is just blowing up right now. So I also want to respect your guys' time. I know this is in the middle of the day for some of you. Some of it's in the afternoon. So again, thank you for being here. I'm Eric DeLeon. I am your AUGI president. We do have a lot of board members here. You'll see us, they have our little fancy background. So thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Let's see here real quick. Okay. All right. Well, again, if I look to the side, I'm letting people in the waiting room. So I'll try not to ignore those people as well. Well, welcome to the AUGI annual general meeting today, guys. Thank you for being here. We really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us today. And again, this is just one of our formalities that we have to do as an organization, is do an annual general meeting. And so yeah, get going here. So annual general meeting call to order is 2:03 p.m. Central Time. We have a jam-packed time for you. It's going to be about an hour. It depends on if we can keep Brian Mackey from talking too long when it comes to his part. But it should be about an hour. If not, just stick with us. We will have a recording in case you do miss it. You do have to jet for whatever reason. But again, appreciate you. We have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I want to get going. But we have a lot of things to cover.
Eric, can you move that banner out of the top?
I don't have a banner on my side.
Yeah, we're seeing a gray banner.
It's your presenter tools, Eric. Occasionally I get the same thing that we all see it as a gray box, but your presenter tools, even when they minimize, will show up gray.
Oh, really? How do I
Yep.
get rid of that?
If you have a second monitor, it's easiest to drag it to a second monitor.
Okay, let me do that. Hold on. Sorry about that, everybody. Come on.
No worries.
No, it's a recent Zoom thing.
I don't even know if I can pull it over. Can I pull this whole thing over? Oh, yeah, I can pull it over. Nice.
Yay, there you go.
Hey,
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. See, oh, now this is over here. So oh, man. Apologize, everybody. Trying to get this docked over here. Okay. All right, Augie, who we are. Now, I know a lot of you have been around Augie members for a long time. And we are no longer a part of Autodesk, which is why you're only going to see Augie. But really just want to reframe. You're going to see a lot of stuff coming from us over the next year or so about just kind of this rebranding, not rebranding, but just remessaging who we are in this new era of what we're going to be doing. And so just want to hone in on a couple of key points. We are the world's largest CAD BIM user group. So thank you for being a member. We are powered by these. Our motto is, users helping users. That's truly our mindset. And especially in this era where, we just a lot of different either groups or conferences, a lot of different things. We get it. They're shifting. We just really want to make sure that at the end of the day, we're still here for you and bringing what I like to call practical, real world advice, tips and tricks that you can take um, to your desk or take to your team, whether or not you're attending anything that we may be doing, AugiCon, some other future things we're going to be doing, and things like that. We just want to let you know that that's our mindset is users helping users. We are platform agnostic and vendor neutral. As we come up with new events and new things, we're going to be talking Bentley, SolidWorks, Bluebeam, BriskCAD, Autodesk, right? And so we're not going to silo any of that. We're not going to. We're here for you. We know in the state of our business, right? We know a lot of you, a lot of us, right? We're using different tools, right? And so we're just here to making sure that we're providing you a forum, forum or a platform where we're really just hitting in on all those different types of platforms and software vendors that we're using. And again, we're trying to connect. We understand that this is beyond civil, right? We know we have some mechanical, we have some reality capture folks, some industrial designers, we have some architects, landscape architects, and things like that. So we're crossing all different disciplines, all different tools, all different types of professions. And at the heart of everything that we're doing, we're trying to do this as a community-driven learning, collaboration, and growth. This is kind of like, I know you guys know who we are, but we're really going to try to hone in on some of this so that way we can meet you guys right where you're at. I think because we're platform agnostic and vendor neutral, I think we have a part of the market to really, in the industry, to really help you in ways that other folks can't. And we're really proud of this. Christina.
There we go. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. All right. So welcome, everybody. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful afternoon or morning or wherever time it is for you. I am very pleased to introduce our guest speaker, our first guest speaker today. Hold on. Sorry. I just don't want to mispronounce her last name. So Aparna Krishna Kumar. Is that how I say it, Aparna? All right, you're smiling and nodding. So I've known Aparna actually for only a few months, but she is the regional lead for Women in BIM North America. And with her guidance and support, I have actually recently joined the Women in BIM regional lead teams for Ontario, Canada. And she has been extremely inspirational and supportive of the community, of individuals. She doesn't it's software agnostic and being able to bring people together in a collaborative and informative environment. And I feel that she is a fantastic person to open up today's AGM. So without further ado, and Aparna, it's all yours. Take it away. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you everybody here for inviting me here today. I'm so honored to be speaking today. I am a longtime follower of AUGI. I actually have a stack of of magazines at my parents' house when I joined who knows how many years ago. And every time I go back, I'm constantly still perusing through and just kind of seeing what every tool has used. So it's lovely to see that AUGI is becoming software agnostic. I'm excited to see what everyone is doing with everything that they do. So let me start by adding a little bit of more information. Thank you again, Christina, for introducing me. You already took a chunk off of my plate here, but yes, as you see on the screen, I am a VBC project manager by day. In some of the evenings, I'm an adjunct faculty teaching at a college here in Phoenix, Arizona, and somewhere in between, I'm the head of regional leads for Women in BIM North America. I am so honored to represent women in BIM today. So before I dive into women in BIM and how it kind of connects to AUGI, I wanted to share a little something that I've witnessed throughout my career, whether I was working in Canada or down here in the United States, regarding BIM and digital construction. And what I've noticed, and this is very close to my heart, is that every woman I've met on the digital side of our industry has had a story where they were maybe the only woman in the room, the only woman in the company. They're trying to learn new technology, but there was nobody there to teach them, or trying to step into a digital leadership role without a roadmap, a mentor, or a community that they could join. And all of these stories have something in common, and it's women helping shape the future of AEC technology, but sometimes they do it in isolation, and we shouldn't have to. And that's exactly why communities like Women in BIM and longstanding knowledge hubs like AUGI matter. Women in BIM is not just a network, it's a global movement focused on elevating women in that are working in BIM, VDC, digital delivery, computational design, and AEC tech in general. It was founded in the UK a little over a decade ago. It currently spans about 116 countries, has about 151 regional leads as of last night, and facilitates almost 4,000 members globally. And our mission is simple. It's to create representation, visibility, opportunity, and leadership for women in the digital built environment. Women in BIM exist to support career growth, provide mentorship opportunities, network, educate, be educated, and evolve as part of the movement. And we wouldn't be here today without each and every one of our regional leads. And I know for different organizations, the representatives have slightly different roles, but for us, our regional leads are representing a city, a town, or the greater metro area. They host events that may be in person or virtual and remain under the BIM and digital construction umbrella. And sometimes these events are about technical topics, sometimes roundtable talks, and sometimes it's just networking events for others to meet like-minded individuals. I'm sure everyone here on the call today probably recognizes this massive shift that we're going through. Digital tools are now the basic heartbeat of design and construction. And communities like AUGI have been foundational in supporting that evolution, helping thousands of professionals grow in technical skills, solve problems, and connect with others passionate about digital excellence. I mean, we're looking at the chat right now. It's blowing up. Everybody's from a different part of the country, the continent, and it's so great to see that type of a platform come bring everybody together. So with this movement basically moving deeper and deeper into digital transformation, we still have one challenge. We from Women in BIM, I'm speaking, we still have women that are underrepresented in the technical and leadership roles that drive these technologies forward. And that's why Women in BIM, AUGI, and other similar organizations matter today. I didn't get a chance to see all of the chats, but I don't know if anyone's here from outside North America, but I'm sure there are similar organizations available there as well that provide platforms to be able to learn, network, and grow together. And so when I stepped into this role for head of regional leads for North America, we had some structure, but being able to be at events like this where we can cross pollinate knowledge and connections has been a huge strength that I'm sure we've all seen continue to grow over the last few years, last several years, actually. So I encourage everybody that's on this call and those that watch this afterwards to join groups like this and be able to hopefully be comfortable sharing their knowledge and take that back to not just your career, but also to your respective teams and your companies, because that's how we grow together as a global movement. We don't want to always be like, oh, that country is doing a lot better than us, let's catch up. But if we all grow together, I'm sure we can all be able to do some fantastic initiatives globally and on bigger and better projects. So I want to leave everybody with one thing. Women in BIM is more than a community. AUGI is more than a technical resource. Together, we can contribute to a powerful ecosystem, one that supports knowledge, leadership, representation, and the future of digital construction. And if you're here today or watching this afterwards, and you already believe in a more inclusive and more innovative environment, I invite everybody to be part of the building of a future for all of us. Thank you.
Oh, right on. Well, thank you for that. Really, thank you for that. That was amazing. Yeah, and again, do you have perhaps you can in the chat, do you have a link for those who want to know more about the women in BIM? Maybe you could put that down there in the link so that way people in the chat, that way people, if it's something they could join, or if it's something they can follow, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's free to join, free to take part, free to be part of the mentorship program that's going to be opening up for the 2026 new year. And I'll drop a link in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on. Okay. All right. Not sure what is going on here. That one shifted. All right.
All
Right.
right. Looks like it's my turn.
Yes.
As I watch Mr. Clicker go by. So I'm going to introduce you to some of our people here at AUGI, the board, the advisors. And if you ever notice any of our official communications with you, it always says AUGI Inc. And you may not, that just might slide over your head, but we are in a corporation. And as such, we have business dealings that we have to handle. And to handle these business dealings is we have David Harrington, who is our executive director. So any of those business dealings, that's David on the back end. I don't believe David's here with us today. He's traveling, from what I understand. But as far as the business end of a corporation goes, he's the thing that makes it happen. And those of us that we find here today that are on the board of directors, you've already listened to Eric De Leon, the president. My name is Frank Mayfield. I'm the vice president. Todd Rogers is our treasurer and also the Augie World editor-in-chief. If you're an author, I know you've dealt with Todd quite a bit. Christina Youngblood is our secretary, and rounding out the actual board of directors is Chris Linder. We hope to see in the gallery here soon. Scott Wilcox and Shelby L. Smith. And a couple of years ago, we had a great idea to add an advisory board. Now, these members do not vote should we ever have issues that come to a vote. That's simply for the directors themselves. But these people are specifically handpicked for their industry knowledge and displaying a different perspective than what the actual directors may have throughout their career. So we want to thank Gil and Jason, along with Jeff and Rena, as being our advisory board members. You're very, very valuable to us, and it takes no time at all for them to add extremely important input to our meetings. So thank you to all of our advisory board members. And with that, I'll pass it on.
Where's Christina?
Sorry, I have two mice. I got to remember to click the right one. All right. So I have a first poll question for everyone. And unfortunately, I was not able to get our poll program working properly without a little bit of legwork. So my first question, though, and I would like everybody to put their answer in the chat if you feel like you would like to, is if you could add one new feature or initiative to AUGI in 2026, what would it be? And as this is a group, a community powered by users, we are all volunteers here. We all support this community because we are passionate about it. We'd like your opinion. We'd like your feedback on what you'd like to see from us and how we could make this community more resourceful and supportive to you in your career and your initiatives. So if you have any suggestions, you are welcome to share them with us, and we will share them later on.
Right on. Thank you, Christina. Oops.
And that we can keep that going, that question. Yep. And then
Yep. For sure. All right. Let me let John Mayo in real quick. There he goes. All right.
Hello. So let's take a look at the financial review for the year. Some of y'all might have noticed that we had kind of a rough year this year. Sponsorships are down, advertising's down. So we had to make a little bit of a cut in the middle. I mean, who actually reads magazines from the mail anyway, right? So as you know, August was our last printed issue of Augie World. That helped us to save money to stay afloat. And as you can see here, a lot of our income comes from the advertising and sponsorships. Memberships, we don't get a lot of those. If you're an ADN person, yeah, you need the membership, right, to access ADN. And just a little bit of revenue share there. So if you hit the next slide, you can see our outgoing money, which is publications. Look at that. It ate up all that money last or this year. And that's why we decided to stop. I mean, most people read Reader's Digest and still get Reader's Digest, but Augie World, we're too advanced for that. We're going totally digital, and we're going to stay that way. You can see the sales team gets a good chunk of our sales when they, bring in the money. So, they deserve that. Operations, we have to pay some people to do things. We pay people. We have our layout editor. We have our editor in chief. We have our executive director. Those people, the layout the layout editors for the magazine, those people don't work for free, unfortunately. We are volunteering organization, but some things need we need to pay some people for that. And then we have the web initiatives that keeps us out there on social media and our website going. So that's a year-end review for the financials. And let's take a look at Augie World. This year was a really good year for Augie World. I got a lot of new authors this year. I absolutely was awesome. Lots of new content, different content, actual engineering content. But we're always looking for content managers. So what is a content manager? A content manager is, take for example, Craig Swearingen that does the BricsCAD. He don't always write the articles. He can if he wanted to, but he can get someone to write the article for him and round that up. That's what a content manager is. He's rounding up content. It's kind of like how I have to do each month, rounding up articles. So, but we're always looking for new content managers for specific content, right? So we need Bentley, we need a visualization, we need Inventor, Bluebeam, and the list goes on. Revisto, whatever you can think of. We would take those content managers and they would write content on that each month. Some of our new content managers is Rena Sahe, who is an advisory board member. She's been doing the inside track for us. Jason Pekovich, who's also an advisory board member, doing our Revit MEP. Jonathan Massaro doing the Revit architecture. Mark Behrens doing the electrical. Craig Swearingen doing BricsCAD. And we just added Tracy Chatwick to our AutoCAD list. So if you are interested in becoming a content manager or an author, please reach out to me. It's todd.rogers@augie.com.
Thank you, Todd. We got Christina next.
There we go. Okay, so time for our volunteer recognition and partner appreciation. These are all of the people that have supported Augie over 2025. You've written articles for us. You've participated in one way or another. You might help us with, being a keynote speaker. Oh, Barn, I see your name at the top of that list is there as well. Board of directors, anybody involved in Augie who volunteers their time without financial or retribution for this. And I am not going to go over all of these names because I do apologize to everybody, but I would brutally butcher half of them, but we do value you and we do appreciate you. And we thank you very much for all of your hard work and services this last year. And we look forward to continuing that relationship with you next year. It is because of all of us. It is not even just the board members here. It is because of all of the volunteers that Augie is as successful as it is, because it is not an individual, it is a community that comes together to support each other. And here is an amazing list of individuals who have taken time out of their daily lives, out of their hardworking time to, give a little bit more back to the AECO industry. So again, thank you everybody. And if you know anyone who is looking to get their voices heard, looking for a platform that is safe, and surrounded by individuals that will respect them, please share AUGI with them, because that is what this is about. Have you never written an article before and you want to know where you can go and you can get that information published and shared? AUGI is a great forum for that, because that is our purpose. That is the entire reason that we exist, is to create an environment where we ourselves feel comfortable and confident to be our authentic selves and share our knowledge. So again, to all our volunteers, we couldn't have done this without you, and we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you very much. And I look forward to 2026 with everyone. All right. And now for our partners. So our partner appreciation are people who have sponsored, who have participated in some way with some financial contributions towards AUGI to help us, keep the lights on, pay some bills, and move things forward as best as we can. So to all of our partners, we do appreciate you. But if you're seeing this and you're looking how you can give back, or maybe your company is looking for different ways to support, AUGI is an amazing community and valuable for others to be able to come to be able to find information and resources related to various topics. So if you are interested in becoming a partner or sponsoring AUGI in any way, you're welcome to reach out to us directly, and we will be happy to navigate you to the appropriate resources. And we are grateful to all of our partners this year. So again, thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to 2026.
All right, it's me again. Frank back with you here to talk about some very special recognition. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. You saw that massive list of volunteers that Christina showed you. And again, it's way too much to go into each one of those. And a few years ago, we decided, there's a lot of things that people just don't realize actually happen. And I've already talked about David Harrington, our executive director who takes care of the business things. As a corporation, we have an accountant. Sadie Abrams is our accountant. Most of these positions are, as Todd had spoke about, paid positions in some way. There's a couple that are not. We couldn't be an organization without these people. All of your bulletins and the invites for this meeting, hot news, special advertising, you name it, things like that are all sent out to the entire membership by Mike Perry. Our website needs management from time to time. Things break, things need to be updated, what have you. Chad Crowell is our website manager and our go-to guy whenever we need something either fixed or updated at augi.com. Yours truly works as a social media manager. Our president, Eric DeLeon, is the AUGI World, the podcast manager. And if you haven't found that, just go out to wherever you get your podcasts and search for AUGI World, the podcast. We do our best to make sure that each and every article, when applicable, gets a AI generated voice audio format. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but we do generate each one of those, and it does as good as it can. It gets better with each month. So bear with us if you're a author and something gets mispronounced or things. Eric is the person that puts all those together, and I put together the AI audio. Ed Job is our forum administrator and membership manager. So if you come in and decide to have a kind of off-color member name to be displayed, Ed will be the one to slap your hand and say, no, we can't do that. And that big wedge that you saw on Todd's pie chart, Nancy Tanner is in charge of our marketing and advertising, and she does a fantastic job there. Over in AUGI World land, as you already know, Todd Rogers is our editor-in-chief. He mentioned a few of his people. Miranda Anderson is the copy editor. Tim Varnow is the layout editor, and Debbie is another layout editor. They do a fantastic job. They put together all those wonderful graphics you see at the beginning of each article, and just lay it out and do a fantastic job for Todd. Literally, we could not do those things without those people. So I'll hand it over to Chris now. You know, one of the interesting things about AUGI and our small size of, at least here on the board and the advisory board, is that we're able to be a little bit nimble when we need to be. And as such, Chris can't be with us here today. He had an unfortunate conflict that he says, I just can't get out of it. So I'll tap dance through our next section, which is a tribute to Danya Tabor Hansen. Danya is in our audience today. Many of you already know Danya, and if you don't, you need to while you still have the chance. Danya will be retiring here soon at the beginning of 2026, and we thought it totally appropriate to take a little bit of time to give a little tribute to Danya. Danya has been in this organization from the very beginning, as far as I know. From the initial days as NOG, which stood for North American AutoCAD User Group, and soon after we changed to NOG, which stood for North American Autodesk User Group. She is a former president. I think has probably held every board position that we've had. I first remember meeting Danya, or at least seeing her. I think we did meet. She was behind a table, and it was at an AUGI table. It was my very first Autodesk University. It was 1997. We were in Los Angeles. It was a fantastic event. I remember seeing Lynn Allen there for the first time. I remember this lady with bright red hair, and her name tag said Danya, and I was like, oh, okay, great. And if you've ever been one of those people that gets on that volunteer slide, I know you've interacted with her in some way. One of my first interactions was at a late aughts AU, when we still had a booth there at AU, and we would have our AGM at AU and hand out the beer glasses, right? We had Augie beer bus night. Everything was great. And so Danya was always at the booth. Well, I was there, and we had it wasn't at the booth, actually. It was in the AGM, and at the back of the AGM at the Venetian, we had tables with all our glasses. Well, we didn't want people getting them beforehand. And although I knew who Danya was, she didn't really know me either. And I walked by, and she pointed at me, said, you. And I got poked in the arm, said, you're going to be the one that stands here and guards the glasses. I said, yes, ma'am. Okay, sure will. So that was my first actual interaction with Danya, a fairly typical interaction from what I understand. So those of you that are longtime AUGI members that go back to a number of AUs maybe, or CAD camps, even before that, no doubt you have interacted in some way with Danya. And so we took some time, put together a little montage of some photos that we found. This last year, people at AU got the, let's see, if you look on the very right-hand side, the CAD Mama Fan Club badges, which was a fantastic thing. And you can see Danya holding up one of the many, many awards that she's won over the years. And in the lower right, I found that some personal photos. That is her license plate back in the volunteer state of Tennessee. Without anything else prepared, since I am stepping in here, if anybody has a Danya story that they'd like to share very quickly, feel free to just put like a 1 into the chat, and we will find you and then invite you to go ahead and open up your mic and tell your story real quick. David Kingsley. There he is. David says he's in the left column, second row pick. Absolutely. And we're glad to have you back here again today, David. So right I'm not keeping track of the chat, so we'll just take some of these if we do have some. I understand if you don't really feel like talking in a large crowd.
Did I have the floor there for a second?
Yes, you do. Please
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
I forgot to turn my audio on. Well, I bailed Danya out of the San Francisco City Jail a couple of times back in 92, 3, 4, Now, I've been in regular contact with Danya because my brother-in-law is named Don Hudson. And whenever I would pick up my phone and say, call Don Hudson, I would get Danya Tabor Hansen. And so just these calls would come out of the blue and we just kind of keep in touch. So that's really about all I had to say. We
That's
did
awesome.
have some times back in those days in that photo. And we used to go out on an expense account like you would not believe. There would be maybe a dozen of us, and they really liked to take us to some nice Napa Valley wine bars, and it got kind of dangerous at times. But
No doubt.
those were great days. So
Tell you what,
thanks for all
if
you're doing, Donnie. You keep on doing it.
tell you what, let's Donnie, I know you're here. If is there anything you would like to say to your Augie brethren and sisterin before you head off into the wonderful world of retirement? Feel free to just open up and have at it.
I'm not headed off until about September, and then they're trying to
Oh,
talk me to go on part-time. But
oh,
I'm
they'll
looking
always do that.
I'm looking at I'm looking at these pictures. And that picture was a picture of my license plate. That says '05. My license plate still says CAD Mama. I do see David Kingsley in there and some others from the former board. The picture of me up on stage there, this Carol Bart's with me. The picture of me asleep, they wanted to stay and drink, and I was so tired. And somebody picked up my camera and took that picture. There's a picture of me and Nona. My stepmom, she used to come and work the booth with me up there in the upper right. But at the Cad Mama fan club, I was gobsmacked when some of the people I have known for years came up with a couple hundred buttons. Oh, look, it matches the shirt from my picture down there too. But they passed those out at AU and then surprised me with them. And they told everybody not to. Oh, CAD camp shirt. I said CAD camp shirt with Brian Mackey. Oh, but how many CAD camps we did. But I was the last president of NOG, the first president of AUGI. So I was the president when it changed. And yeah, I held every board position, treasurer, secretary, all of them.
Hmm.
Membership chair. I was the logistic liaison for like 20 years. I ran the booth. I've ordered every beer mug except for 1 year, and that's the year they got the plastic ones, so you can't blame me for that one. I ordered all the Augie pins that were given out. Um, and yeah, to get you to volunteer, it was basically I looked at Frank and go, here, you're going to do this. Um, I remember several people that got volunteered by me like that going, you're going to help me. So, hey, you're an IE member? Great. You want a beer mug first? Good. You're going to help me pass them out. So put yours aside. That way, you know, you've got a beer mug and then you can help pass these out. And yeah, I got a lot of people got Ollie volunteered that way in the booth. It was just, I'm looking at these pictures. It's like, oh my gosh, I wish my hair was ready. I gave up dyeing my hair. This is it now. But yeah, there's so many memories. Lynn Allen, it goes way back with me. And there's so many of you got Kingsley. Gosh, we even came and visited. My husband and I visited Kingsley's house. I mean, there's several Augie members and board members and stuff that I have stayed at their home if they've come and stayed at my home. So it's more of a family. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is. I consider, my tenure on the board as being family. And really, it's just, and we feel that same way about you. I mean, you're absolutely treasured here at Augie, and even more so, you're treasured throughout the industry.
Oh, thank
So
you.
at some point, we will miss you, and until then, we still have you, and we're very glad to. So, Danya, thank you so very much for all your years.
Send me that picture of me sleeping. I can't find that one.
We will do that.
That one somebody took because I took all the pictures of all at all the board members meetings and everything. So I don't have that. I don't remember having that. I know it was on my camera, but I can't find that when I was looking for it the other day. Oh, send me that. Send me the whole
Action item
page.
to our
Must have been
AI.
one of those Napa wine bars.
There was some
All right.
expensive dinners. I
If
remember
I
that.
if I thought about it, if I thought about it for a little bit, I could probably figure out where that red check tablecloth is, where that restaurant is.
Oh, could be. I have no idea. But also, let's not forget the Shoskeria down in Dallas. Oh, wow. That was an
Oh
expensive
yeah.
meal.
You're the one that
Yeah.
got away with Lynn's charcoal portrait, are you not, Danya?
Uh,
I was there in Dallas.
no, I didn't.
We can. Somebody did.
Somebody did, yeah.
I thought Lynn said it was you because she lost it, and then we
No.
had
If
a.
I had lost it, Lynn would have gotten it back.
I thought you said you lost it in the airport, but
Uh,
obviously most of you weren't there. But we had a charcoal caricature artist that specialized in. Oh boy, now I've backed myself into a corner.
All right, Frank, we got to keep
Yeah,
this rolling.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a very interesting rendition of Lynn, and it got out of her hands, and it's gone now. I thought that was you, Danya.
no,
Done
no.
everything else. Yeah. So
Thank you.
congratulations when it finally
Thank you.
comes.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all love you here, and in the interest of moving on, let's move on.
Bye, Dave.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
For sure.
Danya, I have some photos of you on my phone as well. The time that you and Kimberly and Robert Green took my cell phone while I was at a volunteer lunch and took a whole slew of selfies of yourselves. So bless you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
awesome.
Send me some of those.
Oh man, that's fantastic. I think that's what the crazy part about being just a part of the Augie community, right? I mean, it goes deep. It goes deep with different members and characters, I guess, throughout the years. So thank you again. Thank you, Danya, and thank you everybody for being members. All right, so moving on, Augie Roll the podcast. As you know, we have a podcast. It's on mainly on Spotify and Apple. I know it's made its way onto other platforms, but those are the ones that we usually post to, and then they get dispersed through the interwebs. They have crawlers that get them on their own site. So anyway, this is where you're going to find us. I kind of wanted to go through this really quick, real briefly. I know we're kind of going, but this is our demographics of who's listening, right? I know it looks like we're 80, at least from Spotify, 85% male, 8% female. What's wild is that we definitely have a demographic. So this is one of the things that we're going to be working on is what can we do to reach the other side of it, since we're very heavy in this age range. One of the things that Apple Podcast seems to be the most popular one, while being the web browser and Spotify next. Now, this is the one thing that I really love about what we do in the time that we live in, right? And so, just imagine, right? I'm posting these from outside of Dallas, right? We're here in the States, but look at all these countries that are listening. And I know they're very small, but somebody somewhere in other countries are listening to our podcast. And for those of you here, I have another podcast, personal podcast. I have other people here probably listening, have podcasts as well. It's just a crazy time to live in where you can publish something and get this kind of reach. And so this is where for us as an organization, we don't take this lightly, right? This is where we really want to hone in on the users helping users, platform agnostic, vendor neutral, because this shows me over here in Trinidad, Tobago, that somebody is looking for CAD BIM information and they're stumbling upon us. This is fantastic. Anyway, it just makes me excited because just understand the reach that we can have to help more people across the world. And Frank kind of alluded to that somewhere in, I think it was August. We were having a challenge with what we really wanted to do was be able to have Augie World authors be able to record their articles so we can publish them as podcast episodes. I would like to, if I'm going to recognize a couple of people, there's probably one for sure, Paul Lee. I know he's here. That Paul is amazing. He's whenever he publishes and I mean for the last probably 4 years, Todd, maybe as long as I've been on the board doing this, Paul's been an amazing member and Augie World author and providing a recording of his articles. Second to him is going to be Craig Swearingen. And so, but we wanted to get everybody's out there. And I get some people get shy and things like that. So Frank and I, and we kind of went through, mainly Frank, we're going through some AI voice platforms to figure out how can we bring your articles to life by using an AI voice. And so we've been doing that since about August, I believe. And things have been trying to make sure we get that all out there. So Paul, you can maybe, if you can probably rest your microphone, as we get into this era as well, just so we can keep things consistent. But again, Paul, you've been amazing. I really do appreciate you and Craig for all the content that you have been helping us with. Because again, without you guys and the authors of Augie World Magazine, we wouldn't be who we are today. So again, if you want to be a part of the podcast, awpodcast@augie.com, that does come to me. We can, and Kim's here. Kim Furman is here. So I need to do a podcast with her. We've been trying for the
We've
last
been working on that for a while.
couple of years. Every time we were going to do it, something crazy happened. So if you want to be a guest, we'd love to just send it in here. That would be fantastic. Or if you know somebody who'd be a good member or somebody, that would be great as well. Before I move on, I think David, quickly, do you have a quick question? Oh, he's just trying to show us his Augie World Magazine. Is that number 1? We can't see the date on it. It's too blurry.
Yeah, it's May, June 2004. I have a stack of about 20, and I would like to contribute them to the archives. We're doing a deep cleaning and getting rid of things, and it's a little bit heartfelt, and I don't want to throw them in the trash. So if anyone would like these, if there is an archive that you have, I'll be happy to send them along.
Fantastic.
That was, I don't know if that's number 1, but it's the earliest one I could find in the stack.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we'll get in touch with you or get in touch with us about what we can do with those. So thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Moving on. Augie community. A couple of years ago, we know that the challenges, the forums, right, can get kind of, I'll be straight up, they're probably dead. Right. I know you guys still go to them to look for things. And I know as you search for issues with your software, you'll probably run into an Augie forum post somewhere along the way. But what we try to do is, again, all about community. How can we make the experiences for you better? And so a couple of years ago, we have launched Augie Community. It's on the Mighty Networks. Again, if you're a member, if you're here today and you're a member, you probably have gotten an email regarding this. If not, go to the website, and there's going to be a link there for you. If you're here today and you're a part of maybe our LinkedIn community and you just joined today to kind of join the AGM today to kind of see what's going on, please feel free to go to augie.com to become a member. This is members only. So I know a lot of us, mainly probably Frank, we are keeping trolls out. This is truly members only, even though you can probably find us. We do, it's only members only. So this is part of your perks. We are growing this. I'm going to be honest, it's been a little slow because, again, we have everything in there. Again, we're platform agnostic, vendor neutral. So we have different channels for the different softwares. And so if you're part of the community, get in there like, hey, Eric, I don't see this. I use this a lot. I know there's a big following for this software or this product. Let me know and I can add it to it. And maybe you as a member, you could become that channel's champion and things like that. And so, but again, we just want to give you this opportunity to connect with members in different ways. And this is one of those things that we're really trying to be able to give to you. This last year, kind of do a recap. We've had 50 contributing members. We've been having about 134 active members. We have a total of 443 members in the community. With this last year, in the community, we've added 46 new members. Obviously, when we first started, it was a big ramp up. And so we're trying to do our best again to get the message out there, to remind you guys, if you're not already an Augie community member, that this perk is there for you. Just another way for us to connect with each other. Todd.
All right. So really, this guy doesn't need much of an introduction. I used to, well, his mother-in-law is part of Augie for the longest, July, and known Brian quite a while, and his wife Desiree.
I don't think people know her name is July. So you said for the longest July, made it sound like it was a really long month having to deal with her.
That's hilarious. So yeah, Brian's been around a while. Everybody knows the Mackeys. Brian co-host Civil Chat with Brian. I still haven't figured that one out. You're a Revit guy, and you're with Civil Chat, and that's the first Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, well, we do Revit Radio right after. We've just been doing it for 15 years, 20 years now. So
Right on, right on. Yeah, good deal. Well, Brian, welcome. We're glad to have you here, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this for us.
yeah, great. So I just they asked me to present here, and I don't, can I share my screen, or you guys got that up and you're good? Cool. So they just asked me to do a presentation. I know it's Augie, and Augie is all about everybody and how we're all tied together, etc. So one of the big things for me is obviously I'm known as the Revit geek. I do Revit in structure and architecture. As Todd said, I try to stay somewhat knowledgeable about civil and stay in with the whole civil world by hosting Civil Chat with Brian Haley. So for me, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I can get some of these things together and working through. So I just, for those Revit geeks out there, I wanted to talk a little bit about adaptive components. But prior to doing that, I'm going to give a shameless plug here. That webcast it's Revit Radio. Civil Chat is also on there as well. But Civil Chat, you just ask the questions in both these things, and the experts will answer them for you. So it's just a live webcast. Ask the questions, you get them answered. So it's kind of a fun little lighthearted thing. And if you get to my blog, you'll see that I actually have a YouTube channel too as well. So for me, I just want to talk a little bit about, the Revit world, and we got a lot of disciplines here. So talking about how can we get some of this stuff together. So I just wanted to show some like simple examples of potential Autodesk or Revit adaptive components, and some examples of where I've done this. These are some presentations I've done in the past talking about these samples, but I really wanted to get into, some of the real world projects. So I know this particular project here, it was involved with the structural engineer, the architect designed the building. We were involved with the fabricators as well. And just talking about, how in the Revit world, trying to bring in all those disciplines in our, new digital lifespan, where this did come in, and, this project has quite a few different adaptive components on there. The major leaf on this building, as it was called, because it's for the city of Lone Tree in Colorado, they wanted this thing to look like a leaf off of a bridge. So this is something that the architect designed, worked closely with the structural engineers and the fabricators. And we did go through and truly use a lot of these adaptive components that I helped this firm develop. And that's the big thing to me, is getting, what our discipline is, how can we all work together? How can we bring all of this stuff in? So, some of the examples that I was just like to show on some of these projects is that Lone Tree project there, the reality in the Revit world doesn't look too terribly far off from what was actually fabricated out there. So just trying to bring everybody together and how we all can do this. That was one of the particular projects where we went from the actual design directly into fabrication. So the fabricators took that Revit model, took it into their machines, kept making us tweak things in our model, say, hey, we can't fabricate it that way as well. Another one of the ones that I really loved, and this one we did work directly with the fabricator as well, using the Revit adaptive components, is, I don't know, anybody's in Florida down there, the Miami Beach Convention Center, all of these little fin panels, we used Revit and exported all of the Revit data to the fabricators so they could get all of the data for the fins, and then they gave us data back to go through and, look at all of these supports, because we didn't put any of the supports in originally. And it was this nice 1-2 thing through the Revit. Excel was actually our BIM tool of choice. We all kept transferring data through Excel. So it's not always about Revit, Excel, Dynamo, 3ds Max. We use a lot of different programs to communicate through. But just, I always like to share the wealth of the knowledge and try to get as many people out there to understand that what we're modeling, if we do it correctly, can go directly to the fabricators. So just kind of one of those scenarios looking at is like, this is what we can do. And I always like to pull up some of those pages. This was the same thing as well. This little curved wall here, natively done in Revit. We exported out to the contractor, I think, 4 pages of XYZ points for every single reveal in every all of this thing, and they fabricated directly from that. So it was kind of a beautiful thing to see what was going on and just how we like to do it. So I'm always willing to share my knowledge. That's why I do the Revit Radio webcast. Like to listen to the AUGI podcast as well. So we're all about sharing knowledge, and that's what AUGI is all about. And that's all I had.
Right on. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And again, one of the big things when Brian and I were talking is, we really just want to inspire you, right? That, users helping users, practical things, and Brian, showcasing, like you said, what the model and versus real life and how, and how it relates. All right. Well, I'm going to share my screen again. Thank you for that. Right. The controls are still over there. All right. So Chris isn't here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this over real quick. I'll be Chris again. So, since it is, so recent in our memory, and we are users helping users, we just wanted to take a second to recognize the board members that were speakers at the most recent Autodesk University. And these guys and gals were either had their own classes or part of a panel, what have you. David was there, Eric and Christina, Shelby, Rena, and Gil all participated. We always have board members participate in AU to some degree. However, this year, and if I can have the next slide, please, we did have a very special presentation. Shelby L. Smith was presented one of the awards for Community Leader of the Year. And we're extremely proud of Shelby. We were so glad to have her come on first as an advisor and eventually as a full board member. We couldn't be more proud of you, Shelby, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I just want to also mention, I was super excited to share the experience with Danya, who was the first recipient of the award.
Absolutely. We just keep going down the line with these things. All right, Eric, you're good. I'm no longer Chris, everyone.
And again, thank you for all the AUGI board members for your contributions to the industry. It's really cool to see the recognition. All right, Shelby.
So it's my turn, everyone. And it's very ironic that just after Frank's announcement, I'm the one telling you of different ways that you can get involved with AUGI. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to contribute, be a part of AUGI, just be a member that kind of spreads the word that we exist. So you can join the podcast that they spoke about earlier, write an article. That's kind of how I got into everything, was just starting to write and share a little bit of the knowledge I had or my viewpoints on the industry. So just to kind of talk about the things that matter to you. Become a content manager, share the posts on LinkedIn. I personally am very active on LinkedIn typically. And you'll see the posts coming out from the AUGI page. If you're not following it already, make sure to go to the LinkedIn page and follow the AUGI page. That's where a lot of those announcements will come from, that you can stay up to date on all the news that's happening. And then, they mentioned the Mighty Network. Join there, look at the conversations happening, and start a conversation of your own. So if you want, just reach out, use the email address provided to get involved and find out other ways that you can be a more active member of AUGI.
Right on. Thank you, Shelby. And remember, get involved at augi.com if you're interested. We have, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming up this year. We have some things we'll be talking about later. I think that'd be real fun if you want to get involved. And again, if you're listening to this or watching and listening to this, maybe in the replay, and you're trying to get yourself some exposure, again, become a content manager, do an article, right? Because again, the AUGI World magazine goes out to our mailing list. It's 500,000 members, 500,000, right? 500,000 members. across the world, right? And so it's a great way to get exposure if you're trying to become a thought leader in the industry. And again, we're platform agnostic and vendor neutral, so we look forward to hearing from you. All right, so I'm going to give a recap on AUGICon 25. For those of you that attended, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys being here and excited for what that holds. Again, we felt that there was a need in the industry. Again, users helping users and being platform agnostic, vendor neutral. I think we found a sweet spot. Again, we're not here to sell you anything. We're here to really just help you. End of the day, that's all we're here to do. And so last year, numbers were down a little bit. I think last year we were right over 1,000 registrations. So we're a little bit down from there. Countries represented, about 40 different countries. It's kind of amazing still, the reach that AUGI has. I think at one point, I think our peak viewership was about 250 people at one time. And we have average about 200 people throughout the whole day. And this is even with the technical snafu that we had at the beginning. So for those of you that were there, thank you for coming back. I think we've made notes of that for the future. And so that way we don't have those type of hiccups. But yeah, we were literally in the back. I was sweating because, it's event suicide when you tell everybody to jump off and then please jump back on in a half hour for us to get some of those technical issues in the background. But nonetheless, you guys were there and really supportive. And again, and this year we did something different too, where we actually sent out a survey, and you guys did a great job of getting us some feedback that we're going to take to heart. Our last board meeting, we're going to make sure start a little bit earlier than usual, just to make sure that we continue to grow this, type of deal. So we're really excited. And so one thing here real quick. So like if you're here, if you're here and you own a business or your company's looking at a way to get exposure, we will be looking for sponsors for AUGICon. So just kind of want to plant that seed with you too. So that way we can continue to do some amazing things for you guys. Christina, got a little poll area. You have a question to ask the group? See there?
Yeah, so actually, it's good that this one came after the AUGICon. So now that we've had two AUGICons, and we are looking forward to our third live conference this coming year in 2026. Our next question stems around, for those who have experienced it previously, maybe this is new to you now, we'd like to hear what you would like us to have available for you at AUGICon this year. Things that you might want us to look into. Did everybody like the panels, or is people looking for other presentations? We try to make it software agnostic, but it does depend on the proposals and submissions that we are given. So we are looking for your feedback on how you would like us to make AUGICon better for 2026. So please drop your comments in the chat, and we will take them into consideration as we plan for next year.
For sure. And again, put those ideas inside the chat, and then we will get notes from that. So that way we can, when we start preparing, we'll get you there. All right, so looking ahead, I'm going to try to go. I know we're kind of at the top of the hour already. So for those of you sticking around, thank you. Appreciate it. Hold on, we have somebody in the waiting room. All right, cool. All right, again, we're going to continue to grow the podcast. So again, if you want to be a guest, reach out to me or AW Podcast at augi.com. Yeah, we want to grow this and get more, again, beyond just AI type of article type of podcast. We really want to talk with real people. And Kim, you're going to be the first on my list to get that going.
I'll send you an email. We'll get it started.
All right. That sounds great. Fantastic. And then again, join the AUGI community. Again, I think we're missing some continued opportunities with you guys in there. And again, it takes a village. So if you want to be a moderator, first, let's have you join. And when you join, make sure you use the same email that you use for your AUGI membership. because we do have a checker. We have a program in the background that allows us to take your email, put it into a cool web page that David and Harrington, his team, created for us to validate that that's a valid Augie membership email. So it has to match. If not, we're going to deny you. And last thing we want you to do is be frustrated. So um, if you're here and also you haven't gone into your Augie, your Augie portal in a while, maybe go in there and making sure it's all up to date. But nonetheless, we really want to grow this and have some ideas. And so really just want you guys to take advantage of that opportunity. And of course, we are going to do AugiCon 26. It's going to be another 2-day, I think, virtual event. So you can mark your calendars now, April 23rd and 24th. I think it's going to be a Thursday and Friday all-day event. And so mark your calendars. More to come with that. And then Monday, December 15th, we're going to be sending out, you'll see it on social media, and also sending out an email to the members about call for proposals. Let me tell you, we're really blessed because we had a lot of interest from the first year. I think we doubled the number of proposals that we got last year, which is fantastic because they made it tough for us to come up with a lineup. So that's a good problem to have. And again, platform agnostic, vendor neutral. Nothing is really, if it's in the CAD BIM design space, type of thing. I would say if you have something in your heart, you're an expert, you want to get out there and present, this is a really good way to continue to help the members and the industry, but also get a name for yourself. You can say that, you were a speaker at AugiCon. So it's a really good resume builder as well. So looking forward to those proposals and seeing what you guys come up with to share. I think Todd, I'll say this, I guess Todd, I think he had his AU proposal. He did it for AugiCon, right? Because we had to slip in. We had somebody who couldn't make it, and last minute, unfortunately, a couple people bailed last minute, and it wasn't enough time to ask somebody new to do it. And so a couple of board members stepped up and presented. Because again, this is for you guys. So we're trying to keep it really about the members presenting, right? I mean, we may have some Augie board members, moderate some of the panels and things like that. But for the most part, we're trying to make the lineup all about you guys. We want to give you the opportunity to shine and to show off your expertise. But Todd was able to get a little bit of practice in before his other proposal. So it was kind of fun. All right, so what else do we have kind of up our sleeve? What we want to do, the big part is we want to hear more from you guys. So in 2026, we want to have, we're not too sure how many yet, but we definitely want to do 1 or 2 town hall meetings, right? It's going to be kind of like this. You're going to join a Zoom call, and really just it's only be about you guys, right? How can we serve you better? What ideas do you have? What do you want to see? Right? I know we've asked a couple of questions here today that we polled you guys on, but we really just want to hear from you guys. Want to hear from you guys because we want to make sure that as we continue the Augie legacy into the future, how can we modernize that, right? We have ideas, but we also want to make sure we're meeting you guys where your needs are. What are you looking for and things like that? And so look out for more from that about some Augie member town hall meetings. As well as we're going to bring back CAD camps, CAD BIM camps, I'm calling them. We don't know quite the name yet. We may keep them the same, but I know industry has evolved beyond just CAD. And so we are looking at, we have something probably summer 26. We need to get through planning for AugiCon first, but at least get back into this routine. Again, we don't quite know what that's going to look like yet. We have some ideas, so I don't want to we have some already preliminary talks. I don't want to give all the secrets out quite yet because we're not quite there yet to share. But we're really excited to get back to some of those Augie legacy type of things that we used to do, and then modernize it into what we're, into the, now we're 2026. I think it's been several years since we had a CAD camp. So looking forward to that. So if you are let me just put this out there. If you are a part of, if you have your own company and you're here, or your organization, maybe they want to open up your conference room for a half day event, maybe reach out to me, and we can talk. I'll put you on the list. Again, we're kind of reimagining how we're going to do this, or if you want to sponsor one of these events as well. So just want to plant those seeds for you guys. We're really excited. Again, I know we talked about, I think one of the first things you guys said in the first poll was, I think we all kind of want to do an AugiCon live. We're not quite ready for that in the back end yet, but I think this is going to give us a way of bringing the CAD BIM camps back, of getting our feet wet into doing events again. So we're really excited about this. So again, look out more for CAD camps for summer 26.
All right. Thank you, Eric. I know we're a little bit over time, but if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand and we can do our best to respond to it, or you can just type in the chat and just put the number 1 before your question, so we can sort through it. There have been just a few questions already in the chat that were answered. There were Danya wondered about where to find the AUGI community, and that is on the landing page banner. So if anybody else is curious about that, you can.
I have noticed that the people that have requested membership there via this meeting today have been approved already. So welcome in, everyone.
Awesome. Adam Munoz. Hi, Adam. Your question, hard copies of AUGI World still available? Do you mean back issues? Like the physical printing stopped a few months ago. No, I believe it ended was August the last one, folks?
Yep.
Yeah, August was the last one for physical copies. So, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Scott Waldinger writes, topic for the community, podcast, etc. Retooling CAD BIM GIS skills for post-retirement, next chapter jobs. Any sources for this in the AUGI community? That's a really good question.
No, I don't think anything like that. But
what a terrific space to discuss it, though.
correct.
Absolutely.
I posted a CAD manager job there today.
Yep.
But that's kind of pre-retirement.
Brian Mackey is looking for the link for the civil chat. If someone could post that in the chat as a response, please. Dave Kingsley, you have a one there. You have a question?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know if anybody caught the photo that flipped by there, but I do have the premiere issue on September 2002. So just a little collectible. I spoke with Todd, and I'm going to send this pack along and be part of the AUGI archives.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I know. I recall that Yoshi Honda was on the cover of the inaugural issue. I do have that somewhere too. Somewhere, I think maybe. Yeah, a long time ago already. Thank you.
Long time ago. Huh.
Any other questions? Okay, well, if that's the end of that.
And real quick, Scott. So for Scott Waldinger, feel free to reach out to me. I have some things that I do with leadership and management type stuff. So I don't want to leave you hanging while we're trying to come up with discussion things. So feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, reach out to me on LinkedIn or with my AUGI email, and we can connect there if you're looking for something there.
One more question from Adam. Is the idea of the AUGI community tool utilized for asking for CAD help? I think it's a community, so it can be that. It can be catching up with people, folks that you get to see in person at events, or asking or sharing technical questions or achievements. It really is, it's a community. So think of it as
Users helping users.
exactly. Thanks for finishing my sentence, Todd.
Yeah, right on. All
All
right.
right. Okay, so thanks for the great session, Eric, for hosting, and for everyone who presented and contributed and introduced speakers. It was another fantastic AUGI AGM. So we come to this time where I move to adjourn the meeting. Do we have a seconder?
I second it.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. Again, we can't do this without you. Actually, let me stop my sharing my screen here. Yeah. So thank you for being here. Again, we just, we always look forward to this because we get to kind of see you guys. I know some people didn't, not everybody was sharing their video, and that's okay. But again, we're here for you. A lot of new things coming up. You want to get involved. You want to be a guest on the podcast. You want to become an author. You want to look out for the call for proposals for AugiCon, all that kind of stuff. I mean, just we're going to be around. Reach out to any of the board members in the advisory board via LinkedIn. That's probably I think where most of us are at. Maybe Instagram. I know Frank's on X. You won't find Christina there, which is fine. But anyway, but thank you guys for all being here, and have yourselves a great Christmas. Have a great New Year, and you'll hear more from us. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Appreciate
you, everyone.
y'all.
A fantastic holiday season.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
Bye all.
Hey, Eric.
Yes. Who's this?
Scott. I'm the guy who has the
Oh, yeah, there you
retirement
go.
question.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So I'm very interested in this group. And I currently work for 2 organizations. And I'm probably in the next 2 years I'll transition from one to the other. But I see the future of CAD, BIM, and GIS. I'm doing GIS right now and CAD in one organization and CAD in another organization. And basically, I'm glad I found you guys because I'm kind of looking for groups to join to do this. But this is a very interesting topic for me because a lot of, my colleagues and other colleagues in the industry don't know about basically the software is advancing more than our skills. So basically the transition from one organization where you've been for a long time to another organization is actually something that a lot of people are interested in. And it's come up over at like ACEC. I know the Bentley folks have their own sort of user groups. I used to be part of those too, which were more skill-based training. So yeah, I'd like to talk to you